famous main junction. Welcome to another episode of Backwoods. Power in the water. This has been just kind of an eerie. Hey everybody, Rob here with Backpacking Adventures. The journey continues. I'm still walking north. I have my buddy Kevin with me. Got to get him a trail name. Haven't gotten him a trail name yet. Ready?
I'm ready.
It's go time. Right up there, it's where the trailhead parking is, where you come out. Come across Route 4. Gonna walk down a little bit. And there's your key to go in. We're back on the LT. So where I did the vehicle drop this time is about 4 hours and 25 minutes from my house. We'll hike this 20 miles up, shuttle the vehicles back. This is turning into a lot of car time each weekend that I'm going to be up here. The famous main junction. This is where the Long Trail and the Appalachian Trail split up, break up, divorce. Nobody gets possession of the kids. Nobody gets to own the home. They just go their own separate ways. It's like a prenuptial agreement here at the main junction. If you take off and head that way, next stop, Catan. If you take off that way, next stop, Canada. Well, or Kevin's car, whichever comes first. Kevin says we got to get going. He's not much of a he's not much of a dilly-dallyer. I'll tell you what, he's got more gizmos, doodads, widgets. Later on, when we get to camp, I'm gonna have Kevin show you what's in the top of his pack. he's got,
Too much stuff.
He's got. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but it starts with aerosol and ends in can. 9:35, been on the trail for about an hour. Just kind of walking along a ridge, kind of, about halfway down the trail. I'll tell you, the month since I've been off the trail, the name Burr Mud makes a lot more sense to me. It's much muddier and wetter than it was at the end of May. Still pretty, just muddy. Well, we're at the intersection of Elbow Road, 20 minutes past 10. That puts us at 3.3 miles. So we're not killing it, we're taking our time. A couple hours, 3.3 miles. Hey, shoot up the dirt road a little bit. And then a right-hand turn. And remember, kiddies, when you do a road crossing, you're gonna go up. It's climbing time again. And lower. Is Kevin still behind me?
I'm there.
Got to stay another night at the inn last night. That's where we staged. And now I'm feeling the effects of the included breakfast that the inn offers when you stay there. I had blueberry pancakes, and blueberries are about the size of my fist. Hiking with a stomach full of blueberry pancakes. It was good. I think the inn's a must-do place. For me, it's a must-do place. I'd recommend it. I shot a little bit of footage last night around there. We're inside the inn at the Long Trail. I just wanted to give you guys a quick view around. When I was here a month ago, coming off the trail, I didn't get any footage of it, but I want to get some footage of it now.
In 1803, sailed off to sea from the sweet town of Devon. We were Australia bound, but we didn't all drown. The marks of our fetters we carried. In rusty iron chains we sighed for our wives. Sweet wives held up there in sorrow. As the mainsail unfurled, our curses we hurled on the English thoughts of tomorrow. I wish I was back home in Derry. I was back home in Derry. At the mouth of the Foyle, bid farewell to the soil. Down below deck we went back on the hearty stream.
All right, we've covered went over a number of different streams and waterfalls, and now working our way up. I got Rolston shelter right straight ahead. Who wants to take a look at it?
I do.
I actually brought my own little trail mix for this trip. So this is my own little homemade concoction of trail mix. I do an 1/8 cup of yogurt covered raisins. Everything's an 1/8 cup. M&Ms. These are peanut butter chocolate chips. Almonds. Already shelled pistachios. Raisins. Just my own little bag of happiness every once in a while I bring. I like it. With the mini and the little bag this trip, no particular reason. 10 minutes to 12. Gonna take off. We got about 7.3 miles left in the day. 5 miles under our belt. For Rolston shelter, the Privy, you head back up, just continuing north up on the trail, and you're gonna cross over a stream. And then up on your left beyond the stream is where the Privy is. Apparently I was wrong. It's not a privy, it's a toilet. Well, I've got my Z-Pack Zero backpack with me this trip. I'm actually just barely above 8 pounds for a base weight, including my filming gear. So I'm actually really pleased with that. It's funny to think that on my 8-day journey earlier, I lost just a little bit more weight over the course of the 8 days than I actually have in my pack right now. Does that make it a 0 base weight? Have I achieved the 0 base weight by losing more weight than I have in my pack? Well, 40 minutes out of the shelter, we've completed the climb, which is about 600 feet or so in elevation gain, to the summit of an unnamed peak. And it says that you are occasionally rewarded with a little bit of a view, and I agree with occasionally and a little bit. It almost wants to, it's trying to give you a little view. Not quite. Almost. Wants to try. On my week-long journey, I talked for a short little bit about how happy I was with my Black Diamond ultralight Z poles. And when I contacted them, I explained to them how that the handle stretched a little bit, and asked them if it would be possible to, warranty or purchase some new ones. And without even hesitation, they agreed and said no problems, they'll warranty it. Didn't ask me to send pictures or the old ones back or anything. And just before I left on this trip, sure enough, they arrived. I didn't have a chance. I was busy with work, so I didn't have a chance to do the replacement, but I plan on doing that. Welcome to another episode of Backwoods Country Kitchen. It's lunchtime again, kiddies, and we're gonna have something different. First time I've ever brought this out for lunch on the trail. I like it. I'll definitely do that again. Salami, pepperoni, cheese, spicy brown mustard with horseradish in it, and a tortilla wrap. Good and good for you. Thanks for joining in this episode of Backwoods Country Kitchen. I actually got some kick to it.
Oh, probably
The horseradish mustard. Oh, I love this stuff. 2:05, lunch is done. We had fun. Now we're gonna run. Kevin's the other one. There's a washout here. Oh, jeez. I almost went down. Hold on. I gotta put the camera down apparently and navigate this. That is a big glacial erratic. The reason I'm laughing at that is I can't figure out how could it possibly be a glacial erratic. There's no glacier here. To have a glacier erratic, you need glacier. There's no glacier. I haven't seen a glacier the whole time I've been hiking.
not looking in the right spot.
Exactly. Man, all this downhill is making my life a breeze.
Said the funny man.
Kevin seems to think we've been doing a lot of uphill walking. All right, we're at Green Road. We're 8.9 miles into our day. It's time to do a little check-in with Kevin. Kevin, how you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful today.
Give me 3 goods and 2 bads about the first 8.9 miles.
Weather's great, no bugs, good companionship.
2 bads.
Hills, and I edited that. And more hills. End of story.
251. All right. Kevin, do you feel like you've just climbed up every one of those hills?
Indeed.
Oh, that's beautiful. Woo! That was a good echo. It was a bad woo, but that was a good echo. That was like a woo! Like a, what was that? It was a bad woo. Woo! There's a better one. That's a good echo. It's got good echoage here.
That one right off that hill over there.
Oh, yeah. That's good echoage. Climbing up rocks, yes we are. I tell you, everything happens for a reason. The way the sun's hitting that, the recent rains that have happened, that's just incredible. That is a beautiful, beautiful little thing to look at. It's a fun hobby. Ever since that little bit of a lookout, we've been walking just like this on these little paths on the edge of the ridge. Makes for interesting walking. I'm glad we're here when it's not rainy and wet. You get so close to what you think is going to be spectacular. It's like a almost spectacular, but just doesn't open up, show you the whole thing. Chittenden Reservoir. Woo! Woo! That was nice. Worked for it. I think Kevin would rather be swimming in that right now.
Oh yeah, baby. It's awfully inviting.
Little bit of an observation I've made, guys. So I'll call it, personally, I'll call it a significant difference in the tread and the trail once you get north of the AT, once you get north of Main Junction. Much less beaten in, much softer tread, and in fact there's even a couple of places where you've got to hunt and peck a little bit to make sure that you see the trail. So it's a little bit different than being on the AT portion of it, that's for sure. Trail names are just something that kind of works their way out or whatever. And I just told Kevin that I ran into a nice family that was hiking, and they're going through the trail. And I was picking on them, and I said, boy, I said, they thought that it was real nice that I was out hiking with my great-grandfather. so I decided that Grampy is what, I used to hike with Kevin, now I'm hiking with Grampy. You ready, Grampy?
I'm ready. Young whippersnapper, you.
If he catches me, he's gonna kill me.
Respect your elders.
Come on, Grampy. All right. Made it to the old snowmobile trail. Turn right. I think we're getting closer to the shelter. That'll make old Grampy happy. Came off of the snowmobile trail for a little bit, ducked in on the left. Had a little bit of a climb. It wasn't too bad. I believe the name's Mount Carmel. Caramel fudge, caramel sundae, caramel candy corn, caramel apple. And now, just kind of booking along here. And eventually, about 6/10 or so left, we're gonna make it to the shelter. That'll be a good thing. All right, David Logan Shelter, we're at the intersection. Left-hand turn. So it's decision time, Grampy. We can go left 2/10 of a mile to a shelter, and that could be home for the night. Or we can go right 6.3 miles to Sunrise Shelter, and that could be home for the night. I'm game either way, your choice.
Well, I'm going to this shelter here. If you want to go to that shelter there.
Grampy, you want to put your feet up?
I would like to put my feet up.
It's 5:45. We stretched this day out like you wouldn't believe. Good day on the trail. Time to find a couple of trees, hang up a hammock, get some grub, bub. This is going to be home for the night. Take a look at what dinner's going to be tonight. Tonight's going to be, I stole this one from the Gray Gorilla, is one serving of the noodles from a box macaroni and cheese. And then there's the one serving of the powder. Here's 4 cheese, potato, instant potato. And then about 1 inch of a pepperoni round, all sliced up and diced up. Let's put this together. I start just by dumping the macaroni in, letting that start to pre-soak. I got my noodles on the boil. It just started to bubble, so I stirred in the powdered cheese is the way I found the easiest way to do it. So I got the powdered cheese just getting ready to come to a boil. And what I'll do is I'll pull it off the heat as soon as it gets to a boil and put it in the cozy. And that's when I add the pepperoni and the potato mix. All right, there it is. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. 4 cheese, potato, macaroni and cheese, pepperoni, souffle. Happy Father's Day. 8:02, time to hit the rack, hiker midnight. Fun day on the trail with Grampy, formerly known as Kevin. He's sensitive. he's got his energy back. I'll tell you, you put some grub into him and get him laid up in the rack, he gets awful energetic. See you in the morning. Good morning, America. 6:30. Happy Father's Day to all the terrific dads out there. I'm in an absolute pouring down rainstorm. It's a little over 7 miles out. Gotta get some coffee first. I gotta see if I can get Grampy awake. I'm gonna walk up to the shelter and see if I can't get him up, get him going, get him making coffee. Ten after 8, leaving camp. Old Grampy took off a little bit ahead of me. Met two very nice gentlemen last night we shared camp with. Both retired and out on an adventure. Nice guys. Out to the trail junction where David Logan was on some new trail walking north. Last night was one of the harder rains I've been in. It really came down. You can tell by the power of the water. That is cranking. Some of my worst knee twists and sprains, hyperextensions, occurred before I just made my mind up I was going through the slop. I used to try to sidestep it and step from rock to rock and all that nonsense, and it just doesn't work. You end up overextending and slipping, and then your knees or ankles or back or something's hurting for the rest of the trip. And I found it easier just to charge on through, embrace the slop. That is pretty, that fog, that water, I love it. That's the trail, but check this out. It's coming down the rock. No spook. No spook. $9:45. I can guarantee if it didn't rain so hard last night, I wouldn't look so pretty right now. Woo! Man. Bloodroot Gap just kind of snuck up on me. That's it. Very foggy. I don't know how well this comes out, but this has been just kind of an eerie little walk through the woods this morning. Foggy, misty. Ever since that last Bloodwork Gap or Blood Hill Gap or whatever it is, Donate Blood Gap, I've just been cruising along, very flat, not much elevation change whatsoever, blasting along on this side of the ridge. And I got thinking about a friend of mine that I've gone on a few camping trips with. One of them's, I think, on a video. My Winter Wonderland trip is Justin. And Justin's dog, Jenny, real neat dog. And I was just thinking as I was blasting along here, how neat it would be to have a dog like Jenny to go hiking with. It's 10:40. Been about 2.1 miles since Bloodwork Gap, or what is it? Bloodroot Gap. It's been mist and rain. I've been thinking about taking the sleeves out of my paca. So 2.1 miles. It's 10:40 now, and got another mile and a half or so, a little bit more than that, I guess. Down to Sunrise Shelter. Feeling good, feeling strong, enjoying my morning. This is one of the ways I like wearing my paca sometimes, when it's just spit and rain a little bit, but more so when you're ducking under stuff. The water's not going down your back and getting your pack wet. Look at this little bridge, like a bridge over flowing waters. All right, there's the sign, Sunrise Shelter. Across a number of small little footbridges. You're gonna see this sign, and you're gonna make out through the woods that shelter. Looks empty. Nobody's here. Ah, look. Somebody even put out the flowers. How nice. Let's have a little snack. Let's have a snack, and then we'll talk to Grampy when he gets here. I'll steal a good idea. Tat and Supermarket, I think it was Supermarket up on top of Killington, did peanut butter and jelly and gorp on a wrap. I think I got a clip of it actually. I'll try to find that clip, but I'll steal it. A good idea, I'll steal it. Don't think I won't. Justin's peanut butter. Justin's peanut butter jelly and a little bit of my homemade gorp. And chewy. I wouldn't recommend this without water. It's very, very good. And chewy. Mmm. I get some water. I wouldn't say it's the cleanest I've ever been. Woohoo! Grampy!
Made it!
It flattened out for you, brother.
Oh my God, that last section was great. Turn on that woods road, boom!
I love it.
Oh.
I love it. Nice stroll through the woods.
Oh my God, it's beautiful in there though.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it really is. 12:18. 9/10 of a mile left. And a 4.5 hour car ride, but you won't see much of the car ride, if any. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I said, and it's all right. The Great Cliffs, Mount Horrid. Thank goodness it's a foggy, low cloud day. It wouldn't have looked as good if it had just been bluebird skies and sunny. So I met Grampy. Well, Grampy belongs to an 80K Adirondack forum that I belong to. And he knows duct tape. And last October is when I first met him. Actually, the only other time I've ever seen him in person. So I'm really glad that he agreed to come out and share a little bit of this long trail experience with me. He's a super nice guy. He's just a prince of a guy. Just heard my first car. Thanks for watching, everybody. That was Division 6 of the Long Trail from US 4 to Brandon Gap, Vermont 73. It was a fun time. The journey did continue. Time to keep walking north. Well done.